When the City of Salisbury decided it wanted a better broadband and cable service, it went ahead and built its own network.
Our City Council is big on goals. About 5 years ago, some of the goals that they picked was to attract and retain young professionals, to help with economic development, to look for alternative funding. So I had been to a class where we discussed fiber to the home, and it just sounded like something that would fit with Salisbury and help attain those goals. So we made a presentation at the next City Council retreat. Council meets once a year, brings all the city staff together. The council liked the idea, so they added fiber to the home as one of its goals for the upcoming year. So we spent the next year investigating it, talked to several consultants, we went to several conferences, made a presentation at the next retreat, a more detailed presentation, and they adopted a new goal to implement a fiber to the home.
And how did you get the local government to fund this?
We hired a consultant to come in and do a business model. Business model was very inclusive. The model looked at everything, the trucks we would need, the personnel we would need. And based on that model, if we had 28% penetration, meaning if 28% of the population signed up for our service, then we could make the project work.
So what level of service were the people of Salisbury getting before you came along?
Salisbury has had broadband for some time, but the service was only 3 meg down. They advertised 1.5 meg up, meaning from the home to the internet, but you were probably at best seeing 768K. At worst, you were probably seeing 300 something K upstream. And when the internet first started, that probably wasn't an issue. But with the proliferation of digital cameras, people are starting to take pictures, starting to take videos now and upload them to the internet. And a lot of people are now wanting to send data, not just receive data to the internet, but they're wanting to send data to the internet. And now those upload speeds really do start to have an impact.
And how do you actually get broadband into the homes and offices of your customers?
We're implementing a technology called GPON, Gigabit Passive Optical Networking. All the fiber in the city comes back to one central location. One strand of fiber leaves that central location, goes to a cabinet somewhere in the city, and in that cabinet is something called a splitter. The splitter takes that one strand of fiber, splits it. We're using 1x32 splits, and so that one strand of fiber will feed 32 homes. GPON actually provides 2.4 gig of bandwidth down, 1.2 gig back up. We take that 1.2, divide it by 32, and that gives us 70 meg. So we're actually providing 70 meg to every home, but we have to use some of that for the video. We can actually provide 4 HD streams to every home. Each HD stream is going to take about 8 gig. 4 streams is 32 gig. You add that to the 15 gig for the internet. I'm way below that 70 meg that I'm providing to the home, so we're in really good shape.
What about the technology you're using to deliver these triple play services?
There was a telecom in Concord, which the telecom there was Concord Telephone, and they had started a fiber to the home project. Windstream bought Concord Telephone and decided that they did not want to pursue that project. So we actually bought their head-in. We bought all the equipment. We got about $4.5 million worth of equipment, and we paid probably 10 cents on the dollar.
Is this a business model that you think other municipalities could adopt if they're having similar issues as Salisbury was?
Actually, now that we've gotten to the point we are, we think our model is not the right way for other cities to go forward. The head-in, the piece that does our video, is going to wind up costing us around $7 to $9 million. There's no reason for there to be 30, 40 head-ins in the state. So what we think would be a better model going forward is for the other cities, counties to do what's called an open access network. They build the network, they put in the fiber, they maintain the fiber, but they get other providers to come in and provide the service. What we're proposing in North Carolina is that since Salisbury has a head-end, since Wilson has a head-end, they're in the eastern part of the state, we're in the western part of the state. So for other cities and counties that want to do this, let us be their service provider. So they don't have to spend that $8-9 million. They don't have to have the 15 to 25 people to man the head-end, call centers, billing. We'll do all that for them. So it really lets the other cities and counties get into it at a lot less cost, a lot more simple, because now all they're having to do is maintain the fiber.
And now that you've built the network, is that it? Or are you looking to add more community-based services?
To us, the fiber is just a necessity that we have to provide to make money to pay for it. What we're looking at now is what else can we do with this fiber that we have in place. So we're looking at things like we're going to put community centers hopefully in place over the next 3 or 4 years, where we'll put PCs, and not everybody can afford a PC. So we hope to have some PCs out in the neighborhood that people can come to and access the internet. We're going to have training sessions at night. If you're a subscriber, it won't cost you. If you're not a subscriber, but you live in the city, it might be $5. And we're going to have classes on how to buy a TV. So we'll teach classes on how to download music and install it on your MP3 player. So just classes to teach people how to use the technology that we offer. We're looking at using it to do digital signage around town. We're looking at it to use automated meter readings. So again, the video is not our ultimate goal. That was just a necessity that we had to do to pay for it. Now we're looking at all the other uses we can use this fiber for.
This is Guy Daniels for Connected States of America in Salisbury, North Carolina.